What up, guys? Gangsta Pranks here, back with a brand new video. Today I'm going to be doing my annual how I would book WrestleMania. I'm also going to do some WrestleMania 31 predictions. Of course, the show is in a few hours, or it might already be going on by the time this video comes up. But of course, WrestleMania season, my annual series, how I would book it, basically some fantasy booking. If I was in charge of the company, this is what the whole card would look like. Before we get into that, let's talk about the actual card. Let's just go through WrestleMania 31 real quick, and then we'll jump into my stuff. So, yeah, let's jump into it. We got a lot of matches. It's a pretty good card, I'm not going to lie. There's some matches that interest me, but there's also some stuff on here that, I don't know. I don't know, it's just kind of whatever, you know? So, let's start with, I think these are both pre-show matches, I'm not sure. But first, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Of course, this is just everyone else that's not on the card. They're going to get thrown into this. You got some okay names in here. Big Show, Kane, Ryback, all that kind of stuff. Hideo Itami, I know he's going to be in there. He won the NXT thing. But there's not too many people I can see winning this. The only person I can really see winning this is Ryback or maybe a returning Sheamus, and then that kind of leads to a Ryback-Sheamus feud, because they would be the final two. But yeah, those are the only two I can see winning that, so I'll go with Ryback and Sheamus. And hopefully it leads to something, because like when Cesaro won it last year, it didn't really lead into anything. So hopefully they do something and like it means something. Because I felt more, it was more like Paul Heyman getting behind Cesaro was bigger than him actually winning the Battle Royal. So hopefully whoever wins gets a decent little push. Next we got Tyson Kidd and Cesaro taking on the New Day, taking on Los Matadores, taking on the Usos in a four-way for the WWE Tag Team titles. This should be a good match too. I'd personally prefer Kofi and Xavier as a team. Kofi and Big E are going to be doing the teaming, but I think Kofi and Xavier would make a better team. That's just my opinion. I think they'd be a better team together. And then maybe have a Big E work as a singles wrestler. I think that would be better, but whatever. So anyways, I really don't see Tyson Kidd and Cesaro losing this. I don't think the Matadors are going to win. I don't think New Day is going to win. There's a slight chance the Usos might win, but even with that, it seems pretty small. I'm definitely going to go with Tyson and Cesaro, and I'm actually looking forward to this match, because this seems like it's going to be fucking awesome. Next, we got, oh, these matches are fucking upside down. Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. That's a pretty good match. I'm excited about that one. I like the story going into it, and I'm excited for the match. I'm going to go with, I can see Orton winning it, and then it leading to a rematch at Extreme Rules. So we're going to go with Orton here. Yeah, we're going to go with Orton on this one. Next, we got Rusev versus John Cena for the United States Championship. Honestly, in front of WrestleMania, big crowd. Most of them are going to be American. Probably going to go with Cena on this one. He's going to... I don't know how I feel about him winning the United States Championship. I'm very interested to see if he wins it, what they're going to do with him. Like, are they going to make it more of a main event title? Because I know... We'll talk about the Intercontinental title coming up. And I think that'll also lead into the world title, which we'll talk about in a second. But if Cena wins it, I'm very interested to see what they do with that title. Like, who he feuds with. Is he gonna feud more with mid-carders for the title, or is he gonna elevate it and make it a main event title? Like, I don't know. So I think Cena's gonna win and become the United States champion. What happens from there, I'm very excited to see. Next, we got AJ Lee and Paige taking on the Bella Twins. You know, they're going to throw a Divas match on there, and I was looking at the Divas when I was doing my WrestleMania card, and honestly, this is the only match I can honestly think of having. There's really, like, I don't know, I think this is the best possible Divas match that they could come up with, and I'm actually looking forward to this one. The Bellas have gotten better over time, and Paige and AJ are really good, and I think they can pull a good match out of the Bellas. So instead of like, oh god, Divas match on WrestleMania, like where it's usually like the Undertaker match, Divas match, and then the main event, and it's always like, okay, Undertaker match, oh it's really good, oh my god, awesome, and then you got the Divas match, and it's just kind of to cool you down from being burned out from that Undertaker match, and then so you save all your stuff. But I don't know, I'm kind of excited about this one. I'm gonna go with AJ Lee and Paige winning, and then maybe a three-way at Extreme Rules for the title. Nikki, Paige, AJ. I'm not sure. Next, we got a match I'm definitely looking forward to. Ladder match for the Intercontinental title. Bad News Barrett, R-Truth, Dean Ambrose, Luke Harper, Dolph Ziggler, Stardust, and Daniel Bryan. I don't know why it's a 7-man ladder match. That's kind of weird to me, but whatever. Stardust is a very random person to be thrown in this match. But yeah, this is a match I'm looking forward to. I think it's going to be crazy. If you've seen like any of the Money in the Banks from previous years, it's going to be like that. It's going to be a total car wreck. People are going to be falling, doing crazy bumps. I can see Dean Ambrose taking some crazy stuff. I don't see Daniel Bryan doing anything too crazy, especially with his neck. So I'm very concerned about him in this match. I hope he doesn't do anything fucking insane. Because I'd like him to stay healthy and become the Intercontinental Champion. I can see him winning. He's honestly the only one I can see winning this. Daniel Bryan, I think he's gonna win. He's the best possible choice out of all these guys. And if John Cena wins the U.S. title, a big guy holding that title, and you got Daniel Bryan, another top guy holding that title. And that'll lead into my world title match, which I think Brock Lesnar is going to retain. And since Brock might retain, and he's not going to be there as much since he just re-signed his contract and all that stuff, I can see like those being the top two titles. Cena will be the United States champion, be a top guy with that, and then Daniel Bryan will be a top guy with the IC title. So I can see that happening. And, yeah, I'd like to see Daniel Bryan as the IC champion. I think it'll be a good look for him. And he could definitely elevate that title. Next, we got the triple main event, in my opinion. The three biggest matches on the show. Undertaker, Bray Wyatt, Sting, Triple H, and Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. One thing I want to talk about the three biggest matches of WrestleMania is the build-up for them has been very weird, because you have out of the 6 guys in that match, in those matches, Undertaker, Bray, Sting, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, I'd say half of them, like, they were so half-ass built, because Undertaker's has been there for none of the build-up. It's all been Bray Wyatt, so that's been a half-ass build. Sting vs. Triple H, Sting has been on the past couple Raws, but for the most part, he hasn't really been there. Mainly a special attraction. And same thing with Brock Lesnar. He hasn't really been there. It's been more Paul Heyman kind of building it up. And yeah, so I don't know. I think it's funny that the three biggest matches have like are with part-timers that didn't really even build up for their match. I thought that was fun. So anyways, I don't know which one to start with first. So I guess we'll talk about Undertaker versus Bray first, because I think that's a little bit less important than Sting vs. Triple H, only because Undertaker doesn't have the streak anymore. I mean, if he did have the streak, I think this match would mean more, but now that it doesn't, it's like my care level has definitely shrunk for this match. I mean, I'm excited to see these two. I don't know how well the match is going to be. I don't know what kind of shape Undertaker's going to be in. That's going to weigh heavily on this match, whether it's good or bad. I don't know. It should be an interesting match. I don't think it's going to be match of the night. Actually, I don't know. Undertaker's matches for past couple WrestleManias have been really good, with the exception of last year, but that's because Brock beat the fuck out of him. I don't know. It should be. It's definitely an interesting match. See what kind of shape Undertaker's in, and what kind of match he can have with Bray. I'm excited. That's all I can really say. There's nothing else to say about this match. I'm gonna go with I think I'm going to go with Undertaker. I don't know. I can see there's a chance of Bray winning it because anything's fucking possible after he lost last year. So yeah, I think there's a chance Bray can win it, but I think it's most likely going to be Undertaker's going to win. And actually, we'll talk about Undertaker in a second because I'll lead into my Sting Triple H match. So I'm going to go with Undertaker in that one. So next we got Sting vs Triple H. Big match. Sting's first match in WWE, going to be on the biggest stage of them all, WrestleMania, against one of WWE's top superstars of all time, Triple H. And I'm excited, you know, like that's going to be a good match. Just to see Sting in the WWE ring wrestling, that's going to be very surreal. I hope the match is good, because the last time I saw Sting wrestle was like on TNA, and he was half-assing everything. I don't think he's gonna half-ass it in WWE. I think he's gonna give it his all. But I don't know. Like when I think of Sting and like the last time he wrestled, he was having shitty matches on TNA with Magnus and stuff like that. So a part of me is like, this match might not be that good, but I think it'll be pretty good because he's got Triple H, and I think Sting's gonna bring it for WWE. So I don't know, just seeing Sting come down that fucking ramp at WrestleMania, I'm more excited for his entrance. Like I don't really care about the match. I just want to see him come down and just get in that ring and just see the crowd go crazy. That's what I want to see more than anything. But I'm excited for the match. It's going to be a big one, and I can definitely see Sting winning. I don't know. I don't see Triple H winning this. Just based on the storyline, I see Sting taking this. And then now I'm going to talk about Undertaker. So what I think is going to happen is Sting will beat Triple H. Next night on Raw, he'll appear and just be like, you know, it was such a thrill. I want to thank you guys for fucking, you know, making WrestleMania so special to me, and you know that was my first match, possibly even my last one. It might be my last one. He kind of teases retirement, and then you got Undertaker comes out and fucking be like, no, you're not retiring, bitch. We got one more match in us, and then they both wrestle WrestleMania 32 and have the match, the dream match that everybody wants. It's probably gonna be fucking awful, but it's gotta happen. Like, this match has to fucking happen. So I think that's what's gonna happen. And then WrestleMania 32, Sting and Undertaker, and then they both retire. So that's what I think's gonna happen. And then the final match, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the WWE World Title. This is a match I'm interested in too. For the wrong reasons. I want to see how the crowd's going to react. I want to see, like, who's actually going to win. Is Roman going to win and be the top guy? Is Lesnar going to win and still be the occasional WWE champion? I don't know. I'm very interested to see how this one turns out. I think I'm leaning towards Brock Lesnar. I want him to win. I really... Man, I kind of want to see the crowd reaction if Roman wins. Will the crowd shit on him, or will they boo him? I have no fucking idea. I'm not a fan of Roman being that guy, but I'm also not a fan of Brock being the WWE champion and occasionally being there. So, it's a lose-lose situation for me. You know, I don't know. I really don't know who I want to win. I'm just going to go with Lesnar, because since he's going to stay and, you know, do whatever and be there for another, I think, 3 years. Lots of potential matches. I think a big one they'll probably build to next will be Orton and Lesnar. I think that'll be the next big money match leading into possibly the SummerSlam or whatever Brock works next. I think that will be his next feud. Orton will beat Seth and then kind of be brought back up into the main events, and then that'll lead into Lesnar, Orton, and yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go Brock Lesnar, and I don't know what they do with Roman next, because then the whole year has been wasted, right? I don't know. Where do they go with him next? If he loses, what happens? I have no idea. I don't know. I really don't know what to say. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm honest, this is a 50-50 match. I can see him losing and I can see him winning. I think he's going to lose. I think Roman's going to lose. But where does he go next? Will he turn heel and then maybe feud with Daniel Bryan for the IC title or something like that? I'm not sure. But I think that's what they should do. They should probably turn Roman heel and then have him feud with a babyface. Probably Cena, probably Daniel Bryan. I don't know. Maybe even Orton. Even they already kind of had a feud, so maybe not that. But yeah. But all in all, this is a decent little WrestleMania. I'd say the match I'm most excited for. I don't know. I'm not really excited for the Sting Triple H match. Like I said, I'm more interested in to see just Sting being in a ring wrestling. I'm interested in the IC title match. That's going to be a good one. Interested to see how Undertaker's going to hold up during the match. And that's about it. Everything else is kind of whatever to me, you know. Yeah, that's about it. So now that we have that WrestleMania card, let's talk about my WrestleMania card. There's a couple matches from the regular card that are on my card because I think those are just obvious ones that should happen. So we'll go through my card real quick. I'll just go through the card and explain what's happening, whatever. If you want to follow along, I'll put the match card in the description so you can take a look at it. So for my card, I've got, I think, 10 matches, 4, 8, yeah, I got 10 matches, which could be a lot of matches, but I think this would be the best possible card with, you know, the roster. That could happen. It's not like a fantasy like, oh shit, I wish, fucking, who's dead? Like, I wish Owen Hart would come back and wrestle Daniel Bryan or something like that, you know. It's not crazy. This is a WrestleMania card that could happen any day of the week, if the check is right, for some people. We'll talk about them in a second. So, I guess we'll start from bottom to top. We'll save the main event for last, but if you want a sneak peek at the match card, like I said, in the description, I'll put it. So from the first match, the opener, would be, actually, I don't know if this would be the actual lineup. We'll just, you know, I'm just going to go through the fucking card. So first match, Andre the Giant Battle Royale. We got Heath, Slater, Zack Ryder, Kofi Kingston, or I'll just say New Day, Curtis Axel, Adam Rose, Eric Rowan, Fandango, Jack Swagger, R-Truth, David Otunga, Bo Dallas, Sin Cara, Mark Henry, Darren Young, Titus O'Neil, Miz, Damian Sandow, Big Show Kane, Joey Mercury, Jamie Noble, Ryback, and Sheamus. So that's what would be everyone in the Battle Royale. Just like the regular Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale, I don't know who I'd have win here. I'd probably have Ryback or Sheamus win, one of those, and then maybe lead that into a feud. That'd probably be what I'd do. But the story I'd kind of build here is like you got 4 people from the Authority. You got Big Show Kane, Joey Mercury, and Jamie Noble. So they'd be working to kind of win the trophy. And then you just got Ryback and Sheamus. They clean house. Then they're the last 2. And eventually one of them wins. I'd probably have Ryback win. And then have Sheamus be the heel and Ryback be the face. And then, you know, when Ryback goes to celebrate on Raw the next night, Sheamus would come and attack him and be the heel. I think Sheamus is a better heel than a babyface, so I'd probably do that. So that'd be my outcome. I'd have Ryback win, Sheamus turn heel, beat him up on Raw, and then that would lead to Extreme Rules. Next we got Paige and AJ Lee versus the Bellas. Like I said, this is probably the best Divas match. The best out of all the Divas and matches, combinations that could happen. I think this would probably be the best one. I really tried to think of a good one, but it's like, okay, I don't want Eva Marie on the fucking card. I don't want, who else didn't I? There's someone else they didn't want. Cameron, and there's another one. I don't fucking remember. But I'm just like, okay, I don't want her on the show. I don't want her. I don't want her. I don't want her. And then I was left with like AJ, Paige, Naomi, Natalia, and a couple others. And I was just like, let me take a look at the WrestleMania card. Oh, they got that match? Yeah, I'll do that match too, because that's the only one that makes sense. So I would take their current feud, what they're doing on TV, and kind of apply it here, and do that. Basically, Paige, AJ, they're kind of the anti-divas. They're the different mold of not regular divas. Bella's kind of fit the diva mold. You know, they act like girly girls, big tits, you know, use their sexuality to get them further, so they kind of fit the diva mold. So it'd be divas versus anti-divas, or total divas versus anti-divas. That's what it'd be. So I'd probably have Paige and AJ win, and I don't know what that would lead to next. I don't know. So, but yeah, that would be my divas match. Next, we got the Usos, Tyson Kidd, Cesaro, Los Matadors, and Stardust Goldust. So basically what WWE did, except I took New Day out and I put Stardust and Goldust in. And that'd be for the WWE Tag Team titles. So with this, I would have kept the titles on the Usos the whole time. I wouldn't have dropped it to Cesaro and Kidd. I would drop them. I would have Tyson and Cesaro win at WrestleMania, and for them to become the tag team champions there. So basically, the whole match would go like, you got the Usos, you got Tyson, Cesaro, you got Los Matadors, you got Stardust and Goldust. You kind of tease attention that like, oh, they're not really getting along, whatever. And the breakup would happen here, and it would lead into Extreme Rules, a matchup. So that they would kind of, you know, be at each other's throats, and that would cost them their spot. And then Los Matadors are out because, you know, blah. And then it'd come down to Cesaro and the Usos, or Cesaro, Kidd, and the Usos. And I'd give Cesaro and Kidd the tag team titles. I like the team of them. I like basically two really underrated guys. You know, I hear a lot of good things about Tyson Kidd, like, oh, he's a really good wrestler, blah, blah, blah. And I really liked his stuff in NXT. Like, I really think he found himself when he went to NXT last summer when he feuded with, like, Adrian Neville. You know, he kind of got to develop his own character and stuff like that, and then kind of become himself. And Total Divas helped, too. And Cesaro's another one that just kind of, you know, he's a singles wrestler, put him in a tag team. That's kind of what happened to him. You know, he was doing this whole United States thing, United States Championship thing. Then he got put with Jack Swagger. Then he's a singles wrestler. Now he's back tag team. So I like the team of these two. I'd keep them as a tag team for definitely a long time because I like them together. And I'd give them a long tag team title run. So your new tag team champions, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. And that is a fact. So that's what I would have happen. Next, we got Bad News Barrett defending his Intercontinental title against Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, Luke Harper in a ladder match. Basically, what WWE has planned, except not with all the other people. So basically, the story here would be, you know, Dolph, Luke Harper, Bad News Barrett, they've all been fighting over the IC title the past couple months. You know, Dolph was champion, Harper was champion for a little bit, Barrett's been champion a couple times, and then you kind of build around that. And then somehow Dean Ambrose gets involved because, you know, he likes to pick fights and, you know, he gets involved somehow. And it'd be a four-way for the IC title. I'd make it a ladder match, not because WWE made a ladder match, because I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I was thinking about Intercontinental Championship matches at WrestleMania. And I'm like, what are the famous Intercontinental matches at WrestleMania? There's only two that come to mind. One, Steamboat and Macho Man. And the IC title ladder match between Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels. So I'm like, fuck, that'd be amazing. As an homage to them, I would have an IC title ladder match here between the four of those guys. And I would either have, I think I'd have Ambrose win and become the Intercontinental title, or become the Intercontinental champion, not the actual title. Yeah, I'd go with him to be champion and just feud with mid-card guys like Trying to look at the Andre, maybe a Bo Dallas feud. You can throw him in there. Maybe feud with Harper and Wade Barrett again. Maybe even a friendly match or two between Dolph and him. But I would definitely have Dean win and become the new Intercontinental Champion. Next, a match that I would love to have had on the actual WrestleMania, but since they're not going to do anything with them, I'm going to do something with them. The Ascension versus the Dudley Boyz. Yes, this is a good match that I think should happen at WrestleMania. You know, they were building up the Ascension to be this very dominant tag team. You know, whatever. Gave them I wouldn't say it was a big match because the match really didn't mean anything, but New Age Outlaws and the Ascension at what's it called? The New Age Outlaws Ascension at the Royal Rumble, and you know, they didn't do anything with them after that. So it's like, if I were to do that, I'd probably do that match at the Royal Rumble, and then at the Royal Rumble you had Bubba Ray. He's not Bully Ray anymore. You have Bubba Ray at the Royal Rumble. He came in as a solo participant, whatever. Next night on Raw, just be like, yo, I'm back. Maybe have a special match with somebody. Maybe he put him in a match with Heath Slater and he squashes Slater in a couple seconds. And after the match, you'd have the Ascension come out and like, oh, the Dudley Boyz, they were a pretty dominant tag team. But, you know, you don't have Devon here. And they just beat the shit out of Bubba. And maybe do that for a couple weeks. And then 1 week, you have Devon come in and make the save finally. And that would lead into a Dudley Boyz Ascension match at WrestleMania. So the story would be tag team that thinks they're hot shit versus one of the best tag teams in the world that has over 20 tag team championships between them. So I'd love to see this match at Mania. Honestly, I think this would be a fun one. I think the crowd would go crazy for it. So yeah, I would have the Ascension win. I'd have them steal a victory, or maybe, I don't know, clean victory or non-clean victory. Maybe a clean, maybe a non-clean one. I don't know, whatever. Basically, Ascension wins, and then at Extreme Rules, you have the rematch in a tables match. That's what would be the big match. Would be a big rematch at Extreme Rules. So Extreme Rules, I'm building up to as well. You know, you got Ryback, Sheamus so far, and then the Dudleys and Ascension in a table match. So that's actually, you know, I'd order Extreme Rules right there. But yeah, this is a big match that I think should happen at WrestleMania, or eventually. I don't know. When I saw Bubba, I'm like, fuck yeah, bring him and Devon back. Have a special tag team match with somebody. And the only team I could see them really facing would be the Ascension. So I would have that match. Next, we got Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. Basically, you know, their TV feud. I'd bring it over here. You know, Randy, he used to be the crown jewel of the Authority, the top guy, but then they got Seth Rollins, and then he kind of became the face of the Authority. And, you know, when they kicked him out, blah, 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 Orton comes back, faces Rollins. I'd probably have Orton win here too, and then it lead to a match at Extreme Rules, a rematch, maybe a steel cage match. Maybe you have all the Authority, not all of them, but Joey Mercury, Jamie Noble, get involved and interfere, maybe attack Randy, so it'd lead to a steel cage match at Extreme Rules between Seth and Randy. Originally, I thought about throwing Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury as a team into the tag team title match. I ended up not doing that, but just a little side note there. I thought about throwing them in there. So yeah, I'd have Orton win over the weeks. Jamie Noble, Mercury, beat up Orton. Steel cage match, Extreme Rules. Big rematch blow-off thing. So there's 3 matches for Extreme Rules. Alright, next we got the quad main event. These are the 4 biggest matches on the show, in my opinion. First, Rusev versus The Rock. A couple months ago, they had a little interaction. So the story here. So a couple months ago, I think it was October, they had a little thing happen, and basically The Rock whipped Rusev's ass and embarrassed him. So what I would do, of course, WrestleMania coming up, make it a big show. You have The Rock come and host Monday Night Raw. You know, he comes to promote Furious 7 or the new Fast and the Furious movie, and you know, he comes out, he does all this stuff for the crowd, and then he just gets ambushed by Rusev, and he beats him up in front of the crowd. And basically, the storyline here would be The Rock is the people's champ. Most of the time, the people are American. So, he is fighting for the people since he's the people's champion. And he would face Rusev. This would be a non-title match. And I would have The Rock win here. And then maybe have a celebrity come out and win and sing the national anthem or something. Or maybe have a bunch of military people come out or something like that and just have a big America moment. And Team America, fuck yeah, you know. So that would be my match. Rock, Rusev. I think it'd be a big one. I would have liked to seen that. Even if it's like a small 5-minute match or something, it doesn't have to be long. Just a special little attraction match. So I would have The Rock win and you know, be America's superhero. He was in G.I. Joe, so he can be a real life G.I. Joe here. Next, we got John Cena versus Roman Reigns. So, if I was in charge of WWE, I would have made Roman a heel, similar to what happened with Batista last year, where they tried to force him as a face, and people just hated him and shit on him and blah blah blah. He eventually turned into a heel. That's what I would have with Roman. Basically, the storyline would be here. WWE trying to force feed Roman down our throats, blah blah blah, Roman this, Roman that. That eventually he just says, hey, fuck you guys, you know, like, I don't need you. I'm gonna be a top guy eventually. And he goes to Cena, and, you know, he just cuts a promo, kind of turning heel, just telling the fans to go fuck themselves. And Cena's like, no, you need these people, you know, they might not like me, but they respect me. And whatever, and then, you know, Roman's like, you know, you're the top guy, you're the it guy right now, but pretty soon, I'm going to take your place. I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to be the one they boo, and they're going to come to boo me, and pay to boo me, and whatever, and just kind of be like, I'm going to be the guy, the new company guy, that, just be like, like, a line I would use in a promo would be like, you know, Cena, you can get a WWE title match whenever you want. And soon, I'm going to be able to get a WWE title match whenever I want, because I'm going to be in your position when you're out of here. And, you know, basically, Roman thinks he's hot shit, because WWE is working in his favor. And, that's how I'd build the feud. And it would lead to a match at Mania. I would probably have... I'd probably have Roman win. Honestly, Roman would win. He'd get even more cocky. He'd get cockier or even more cocky. I don't know, whichever one fucking works. And it'll lead to a rematch, of course, another rematch at Extreme Rules. But this is a match I definitely think should happen at Mania. Because, I don't know, I don't think people want to see Roman in the main event. They really should do what they did with Batista. Turn him heel. The crowd is hating him. Turn him heel. He tells them all to go fuck themselves. And he'll still be in a top spot. But the crowd reaction will fit his actual character. You know, your babyface isn't supposed to get booed. Even though it's Cena, which, I don't know, you take the same, like, you know, what I'm doing with Roman and do it with Cena. But, no, I'd keep Cena as a babyface and turn Roman heel. That would be my thing. Next, Bray Wyatt versus Sting. So basically, this would be the whole Triple H Sting feud. So think of it like that, but instead of Triple H wrestling, we have Bray Wyatt. So at Fastlane, when they do their face-to-face confrontation, and Sting challenges, or I forgot who challenged who, but whatever, like, oh, challenge for Mania. You know, Sting or Triple H would be like, all right, I accept your challenge, but I'm not gonna wrestle. I always got a plan B. You know, just like when he had Lesnar as his plan B. And his plan B would be Bray Wyatt. You know, hey, I'm not going to fight you. You know, I'm retired. I'm the COO. I don't want to be a wrestler anymore. So he would send Bray after him. And it would be... So basically, Triple H Sting feud, instead of Triple H, insert Bray Wyatt. And basically that would be the feud. And I think, I don't know, I would like to see Triple H, and so I'll talk about my decision why I have Sting and Bray instead of, you know, Sting versus Triple H. So basically what I would do here is I would have Sting beat Bray Wyatt, and then the next night on Raw, what I talked about with Undertaker and Sting on the Raw after, and then they challenge him, that's what I would do here, basically. So Sting comes out and is like, oh, thank you for the reception, blah, blah, blah. It might be my last match. I'm glad I finally got to wrestle in WWE. Undertaker comes out and challenges him to a match at WrestleMania next year. Now with this, I would go two ways. I would either have Sting Undertaker at WrestleMania 32 or Sting Undertaker Bray Wyatt in a three-way. And I'm not sure which one I would do. Probably the three-way. I think that'd be better to watch. I think that'd be an interesting match. But I don't know. You kind of want that... I don't know. Whatever. But when I do how I would book WrestleMania 32 next year, I will definitely have that match, Undertaker Sting, or Undertaker Sting Bray Wyatt. I think those would be interesting. So, because Bray wants... he wants revenge on Sting for WrestleMania, and then he sees, oh, Undertaker wants Sting. Well, now I want Undertaker because he wants Sting and I want Sting. So he can't have Sting because I want Sting, so I'm going to fight Undertaker. So that would lead into the... yeah, I'd probably go with the three-way at WrestleMania. Bray, Sting, Undertaker next year, WrestleMania 32. I'm going to make that match. When I do how I would book WrestleMania 32 next year, that's going to be one of my matches. Bray, Sting, Undertaker. I don't know, maybe. Depends what's going on next year. And I change my mind, but that would be my match. Interesting note here, I would not have Undertaker on this WrestleMania. I wouldn't. I would have him skip this year, make people think like, oh shit, maybe he really is retired. And then he comes out on the Raw and like, oh, he challenged him to WrestleMania, he's not retired. He was just laying in wait. So yeah, I wouldn't have Undertaker on this WrestleMania anywhere near. Not making an appearance, Hall of Fame, nothing. So that would be that. So kind of like, ooh, no Undertaker WrestleMania. This is interesting. So that's what I would do. And then the final match, my main event for WrestleMania 31, would be Brock Lesnar defending the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Daniel Bryan. So basically, what I would have is I would have Daniel Bryan win the Royal Rumble. Win the Royal Rumble to get this shot. I think Daniel Bryan should have won last year, but whatever. I think the story ended up being better with what they did instead of the whole if he were to actually win the Royal Rumble, or maybe I don't know. Would it have been better for Bryan to win the Royal Rumble or Batista win and then him defeat Triple H and then get into the three? I think the three-way thing was better. And then his match with Triple H, because I really, really liked that match. So I think it was better for him not to win. But here, I would have him win. I'd have him win the Royal Rumble and face Lesnar at WrestleMania. And the whole story is Lesnar is a very dangerous guy. Bryan is still very fragile, his neck injury. So Heyman... I would have Heyman build him up and be like, you know, I don't think you want this match. Like, I really think you should reconsider. Like, do you want to be able to walk again? Do you want to be able to wrestle, to play with your kids? If you do, you should not take this match. Because if you do take this match, there is a high chance that you will hurt your neck and you might not even be able to wrestle again. So that would be the whole thing for the match. Like, does Daniel really want to do this? Because if he does, this could be very bad. He can get really fucked up, and he might not be able to wrestle again. He might have to retire. And That's what I would build upon. Is like, is Daniel ready? Does he want to? Is he mentally ready? Because in the back of his mind, he might get injured because Brock Lesnar is a very physical competitor. So that's what I build upon, and build upon, and build upon. Then, Daniel Bryan would be like, there is a chance I could lose and get hurt, and seriously hurt, and I might have to retire. And there's also a chance I could beat Brock Lesnar and become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion again. And just kind of, Heyman's face would be like, what? Like, I could just see that playing out in my head, and I think that'd be a crazy moment. The fans would go crazy, and that's what I'd do. And then at WrestleMania, I'd have Bryan beat Brock Lesnar. I think it's a big money match. Lesnar can just beat upon Bryan, beat upon him, and Bryan will keep coming back because he's got heart and whatever, and he'll never give up attitude. And I just think it'd be an awesome match, and Lesnar with his punches, Bryan with his kicks. It's gonna be a hard-hitting match, and it's a match I'd definitely be excited for. And I think the storyline going into it, like, oh shit, Bryan could get hurt. Should he do this? And over the weeks, you have him contemplate it. You have him like, my neck isn't 100%. It's about 87%. But I'm still going to take this match, and I'm going to become the WWE Champion. And, just build it up like that. And I think that would make for an awesome main event. I think the build-up would be amazing. The match would be pretty awesome. I think, Lesnar could just toss around Bryan like a rag doll, and then he just keeps getting up. And then Lesnar's like, what do I have to do to put this guy away? And then, eventually puts his guard down. Bryan puts him in a no-lock, and Lesnar taps out. And I don't think Lesnar has ever... He actually faced the angle quite a bit, so he might have tapped out then. But you make it a big deal. Oh, shit, Lesnar tapped to Brock Lesnar. Or Lesnar tapped to Daniel Bryan. Holy shit, that's a big fucking deal. He just made him tap like a little bitch. And then maybe a rematch at SummerSlam or something like that. I don't know. But there's definitely be a rematch because Lesnar would be pissed. He lost his title and he tapped out to this guy that's smaller than him. Oh shit, I'm pissed. Or maybe knock him out with a bazooka knee. That could be two different things. Where it's like Lesnar just, he puts his guard down. He's like, I've got him beat up. He can't really do anything. And he's just taunting the crowd. Turns around, bam, bazooka knee knocks Lesnar out. 1, 2, 3. Or you could do the make him tap thing. Either way, I think it'd be awesome. And I would really love to see this match in real life. So, yeah. That's my WrestleMania card. That's how I would book WrestleMania 31 if I was in charge. Let me know what you guys think. Would you order this pay-per-view? Do you like my card? What do you like? What do you don't like? Leave that sort of thing in the comments section. And are you going to be watching WrestleMania tonight? Let me know. I'm going to be taking a quick a peek here and there for the stuff that I want to watch. But yeah, so I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you like my WrestleMania. And until then, guys, peace out.